Hello Eurovision fans, thank you so much for coming to my channel Eurovision Histories. It's time for another episode of my new series Pro Contra, where I try to play devil's advocate and list all the arguments for and against a country winning Eurovision. And today I am doing all the arguments for Blanca Paloma and Spain winning Eurovision 2023. Thank you so much for your comments, which I have used for this video as well. And let's get right to it and look at the first argument. And that is that EaEa, Spain's song for Eurovision 2023, is a great fusion of tradition and modernity. The traditional aspects are quite obvious. You have the flamenco singing. Her style of singing is bulería, and she shows Spanish culture and Spanish musical traditions. But they fuse it with a modern beat, which makes the song more accessible to a general audience. I do think that Eurovision is all about the balance between showing your own national distinct culture, but making it accessible to a wide audience, because obviously you want to do well if you enter Eurovision, and if you stay too much in your niche, that might be a problem. EaEa does add a modern and accessible aspect by adding this beat. And people actually, and this is the next argument, are a bit tired of mainstream songs, it seems, because in the last couple of years with Måneskin, with Kalush Orchestra, but also Salvador Sobral, songs have won that are not mainstream, middle-of-the-road pop. And I think that could be something that Spain can really play into by just showing their own regional and traditional musical traditions. Traditional traditions, that's a bit strange. And I think that people also kind of like songs that feel like the country they are being sent by. For example, Voila for France came second because it just feels incredibly French. And I do think that EaEa feels very, very Spanish and what people associate with Spanish music. And that could help it quite a lot, that it kind of fulfills the expectations that people have. Next up, it's a song that you either love very much, I think, judging from the reactions of Eurovision fans, or you hate it. And in Eurovision, that is actually a good thing, I think, because 90% of the audience can hate your song or not like your song or be completely indifferent. If 10% of the audience love your song and pick up the phone and vote for it, that is actually good. And from the reactions of Eurovision fans, it seems that a lot of them really, really love the song, and then quite a few don't get it or don't like the song. And as I said, for Eurovision, that can actually be a positive thing. Then, very clearly, Blanca Paloma is, I think, the best vocal performer of the year of Eurovision 2023. She has performed perfectly in every single pre-party. She can add variations to her vocals that no one else can do, I think. Just amazing. And the juries, one of the criteria the juries have is the vocal performance, and that will definitely help her in the jury vote as well. It is also incredibly artsy as a performance, as a song, and people could connect to that, and it's actually very, very distinct from everything else on offer. So it's not that probable, even though I think Moldova and Georgia are a bit similar, that other songs will steal votes from EaEa. Then she is just an amazing and very charismatic performer. She can capture an audience's attention for 3 minutes. I do think that the staging needs to reflect that even more, focus more on her charisma and her emotions. And then I think it could really be a kind of Salvador Sobral moment where all of Europe falls in love with Blanca Paloma and her charismatic chops as a performer. It is a great representation of Spanish culture. The lyrics are so deep. I did an explanation video on that, so check that out. I'm not going to repeat everything, but there are references to Andalusian culture, to Federico Garcia Lorca, to Spanish poetry, musical traditions, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful work of art in that sense, and that can help it with a certain part of the audience as well, I think. Then Spain has not won for a very, very long time, since 1969. Some commentators might mention that, and people might think, well, why haven't they won for such a long time? They should win again. And if they are between maybe Sweden or Spain, they might rather vote for Spain, who haven't won for a very long time, than for Sweden, who even has a performer that won only 11 years ago. So that might be an advantage for Spain, actually. And the narrative in general is just very good of Spain kind of awakening and becoming a Eurovision powerhouse after Chanel's third place last year, and now again with a very competent and artsy performance, maybe doing even better, and people might think, wow, Spain has really gotten it together in a way, and vote for it for that reason. Then Spain at the moment is 4th in the odds, and that can help with the running order, because producers always try to put the favorites rather late in the running order, which usually helps them get more attention from the viewers, and Spain might profit from that as well. And jury members might think twice to vote a song that is 4th in the odds and is very artsy and a very good vocal performance, to vote it down and put it low in their ranking. So that might also help. And then momentum growing. Here I kind of think of Salvador Sobral. About a month before Eurovision, he was, I think, 4th in the odds, which is the same as Blanca Paloma, and people didn't really think of it, I think, as a Eurovision winner. But then the momentum grew with Eurovision week. If she has a very effective staging, and I think she needs a more effective staging than in Benidorm, people might start talking about how good this performance is, how good she is as a performer, and the odds may rise during Eurovision week, and the momentum might help to push her past Kerdia and Loreen, who have been favorites or will have been favorites for months, and people might just want that new energy of Spain, and that might be the reason why Spain wins Eurovision. So these are all the pro arguments I could find for why Blanca Paloma will win Eurovision. If you think she won't, check out the contra video, where I kind of play devil's advocate in the different way and try to find all the arguments against her winning Eurovision. Please subscribe to my channel if you want more content like this one, and I'll see you for my next video. Bye bye.